I've lived 73 years on this earth and I thought I'd seen everything. I raised 4 children, buried a husband, survived 3 recessions, and even made it through my grandson's experimental vegan Thanksgiving. But nothing, and I mean nothing, could have prepared me for what happened last Tuesday night at Giuseppe's Italian restaurant. Let me back up a bit. My son Daniel married Rebecca 5 years ago. She's a corporate attorney from Manhattan, all sharp blazers and sharper words. I tried, I really did. I welcomed her with open arms, threw her a beautiful bridal shower at my home in Cedar Rapids, even learned to make her favorite gluten-free banana bread. But from day one there was this distance, like she was tolerating me rather than accepting me. Still, she's my daughter-in-law. Family is family, right? Last month Daniel called me, his voice bubbling with excitement. "Mom, Rebecca's been promoted. We want to celebrate with the whole family, you, Sarah, and Tom, even Joey and his kids. Big dinner, our treat, Saturday at 7. My heart swelled. Maybe this was it. Maybe this promotion had softened her, made her realize that family gatherings weren't just obligations, but blessings. Lord knows at my age every family dinner feels precious. I spent the whole week looking forward to it. I even bought a new blouse, periwinkle blue, because my late husband Jim always said it brought out my eyes. Saturday evening, I bundled up against the Iowa wind, the kind that cuts right through you in January, and drove the 20 minutes to Giuseppe's. The restaurant was warm and bustling, smelling of garlic and fresh bread. I spotted them immediately, Daniel waving from a long table near the back, my daughter Sarah already seated with her husband Tom, and my youngest Joey trying to wrangle his 7-year-old twins into their chairs. "Grandma!" little Emma shrieked, running to hug my legs. I kissed her head, that sweet strawberry shampoo smell, and made my way to the table. That's when I noticed Rebecca's expression. She was sitting at the head of the table, rigid in a cream-colored designer dress, looking at me like I'd tracked mud across her white carpet. Her eyes traveled from my face down to my winter coat, which was admittedly a bit worn, then back up again. "Linda," she said, her voice smooth as ice. No warmth, no smile. Just my name, hanging in the air like an accusation. "Hi, sweetheart," I said anyway, leaning in for a hug. She gave me her shoulder, one of those barely there society embraces. I felt my smile falter but pushed through. "Congratulations on the promotion. Daniel told me senior partner. That's wonderful." "Thank you," she said flatly, then turned to Daniel. "Daniel, darling, didn't you mention your mother might be more comfortable at the counter? The bar area has some lovely individual seating." The table went silent. I stood there, my coat still on, purse clutched in my hands, trying to process what I'd just heard. Sarah's fork clattered against her plate. Joey's mouth actually fell open. Even the twins stopped squirming. Daniel looked mortified. "Rebecca, what are you— Mom's sitting with us, obviously." Rebecca's smile didn't reach her eyes. "I just thought, given the caliber of tonight's celebration and the clientele here," she gestured vaguely around the restaurant, "it might be more appropriate. I've invited some colleagues who'll be joining us shortly. First impressions matter in my field." My throat tightened. 73 years old, and I was being told I wasn't good enough to sit at my own son's table. "Get out. Sit somewhere else." Those words echoed in my head. Not shouted, worse, delivered with that cool professional detachment she probably used in boardrooms. Sarah stood up so fast her chair scraped backward. "Are you kidding me right now?" "Becca, that's my mother," Daniel said, his voice rising, but Rebecca just dabbed her lips with her napkin, completely composed. "I'm simply trying to make this evening special. Surely Linda understands. It's nothing personal." Nothing personal, as if asking someone to leave their own family dinner could be anything but. I felt the familiar sting behind my eyes, the kind that comes right before tears, but I'd be damned if I'd give her the satisfaction. I squared my shoulders the same way I did when I was raising 4 kids on a teacher's salary after Jim died. "You know what?" I said quietly. "I think I'll head home. You enjoy your evening." "Mom, no," Daniel started. I held up my hand. "It's fine, sweetheart, really." It wasn't fine. Nothing about it was fine. But I'd learned long ago that you can't force people to value you. I made it to my car before the tears came, hot and angry against the cold January air. I sat there in the parking lot, engine running, heat blasting, and let myself cry. For the dinner I'd looked forward to, for my son caught between his mother and his wife, for all the times I'd tried to bridge the gap with Rebecca and failed. Then my phone buzzed. It was Sarah. "Mom, don't go home, please. We're leaving, all of us. Meet us at Rosie's Diner in 15 minutes. "Sarah, you don't have to." "Mom, Rosie's, 15 minutes. Daniel's already asking for the check." I wiped my eyes, confused. "The check? But you just get there. I'll explain everything." 20 minutes later, I walked into Rosie's Diner, our old family spot, with its red vinyl booths and the best apple pie in 3 counties, and found absolute chaos. My entire family was there. Daniel, Sarah, Tom, Joey, the twins, everyone except Rebecca. They'd pushed 3 tables together, and Emma was already coloring on the paper placemats with the crayons Rosie keeps in mason jars. Daniel stood when he saw me, his eyes red. "Mom, I am so sorry." I hugged him hard. "Honey, it's not your fault." "Yes, it is," he said thickly. "I should have said something months ago, years ago. The way she treats you, the comments, the exclusions, I kept making excuses." Sarah slid into the booth, patting the seat beside her. "Sit, Mom. You need to hear what happened after you left." I sat, utterly bewildered, as Joey signaled Rosie for coffee. "So," Sarah began, her eyes gleaming with something between fury and satisfaction. "After you left, Rebecca's colleagues arrived. 3 of them, all dressed to the nines. They sat down, ordered wine, very impressed with themselves. And then," Joey interjected, barely suppressing a grin, "Daniel asked for the check." "I don't understand," I said. Daniel leaned forward. "I asked for the check for the entire evening, everything everyone had ordered or was planning to order, the wine Rebecca's colleagues had just ordered, the appetizers, the entrees she'd pre-selected for everyone, all of it." My eyes widened. "But you hadn't even eaten yet." "Exactly," Sarah said triumphantly. The waiter was confused, brought the projected bill based on what Rebecca had pre-ordered for everyone. Sarah whispered with obvious glee. "Absolute shock." She tried to argue, said Daniel was being childish, that he was embarrassing her in front of important people. "What did you say?" I asked Daniel. His voice was steady, final. "I said, you told my mother to sit somewhere else at a family dinner. You gave me a $2,000 bill for your ego. The only embarrassment here is how long it took me to see who you really are." The table fell silent. Rosie appeared with coffee and a knowing look. She'd seen 3 generations of our family dramas play out in these booths. "So that's it?" I asked quietly. "You just left her there?" "Not quite," Joey said. "Tell her the best part, Dan." Daniel ran his hand through his hair, looking exhausted but somehow lighter. "I told her I'm filing for divorce. We signed a prenup. She insisted on it, ironically, so it should be straightforward. I'm done, Mom. I should have been done years ago." I didn't know what to say. Part of me ached for my son's failed marriage, for the pain ahead, but another part, the part that had been dismissed and diminished for 5 years, felt something like relief. "I'm sorry," I finally whispered. "Don't be," Daniel said firmly. "I'm not anymore." Emma tugged on my sleeve. "Grandma, can we get pie? Daddy says we're celebrating." "Celebrating what, sweetie?" She grinned, gap-toothed and perfect. "Family night, just us." And so we did. We ordered pie, apple for me, cherry for Sarah, pecan for the boys, and sat in that worn booth until nearly midnight, talking and laughing and beingus. No pretense, no expensive wine or performance, just family. As I drove home that night, my phone buzzed again. A text from Daniel. "Thanks for being you, Mom, always. I love you." I pulled over, right there on Highway 30, and let myself cry again. But this time, they were different tears. The next morning, I woke to 17 missed calls, all from Rebecca. Should I answer? Or is silence sometimes the loudest response of all? What would you do?